Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. And this time take a look at the 1992 Mazda Familia GTR Rally Car, also known as the 323 GTR Rally Car. This is another one of the arcade mode rally cars that have been ported into Gran Turismo mode thanks to the GT2 Plus mod, and when fully upgraded they are identical to the base car, apart from the fact these can't have stage 3 weight reduction. But in the interests of making this series more interesting, I'm running these as separate cars, and the sort of standard cars aren't running race mod. Such was the case with the Familia GTR, which we saw go around a little while ago. That car was just in its base white, whereas this car has what would have been the racing modification, and what a racing mod it is. It is such a simple livery, this. Just a couple of simple colours, no real major sponsors, but it is one of my favourites in the game. I love it. The light blue going into sort of the darker navy blues, into the green, into the purple. It does look absolutely phenomenal. And the 323 in general is just a very cool looking 90s hot hatchback. Unfortunately not a particularly successful one. I don't know a lot about the rallying history of this vehicle, but I'm assuming not good, as evidenced by the fact you don't really associate Mazda with rallying. So yeah, I'm going to assume this car did not have a particularly good run, but we'll see if we can give it a good run in this series. Four-wheel drive, 358 horsepower, 1,149 kilos. Not terrible for an all-wheel drive car, but for a rally car you would expect a little bit more. This car is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track on to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Audi TT LM Edition. That car set time of a 26.690. The Mazda Familia rally car is unlikely to beat that. In terms of where this is going to go, the standard Familia GTR, well, fully upgraded, but you know what I mean. That car set a time of a 29.759. In general, we've seen the base rally cars sort of, it's a bit of a mixed bag. In stuff like Evos, the rally cars were quicker than the standard cars when they ran. But in the case of cars like the Celica GT4 RC, we actually saw that car was slightly slower than the RC when it went round. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see on this one which way it goes. So far though, it drives pretty well. This is, so the problem with these cars, this car is very similar to the Nissan Pulsar GTIR, which was obviously operated by Nissan around the same time in the World Rally Championship, and I think the game sort of reflects the challenges those cars faced compared to something like the Imprezas and the Evos. The Imprezas are sort of very sharp, that is very close to the time this car got normally. Interesting. Yeah, the Imprezas and the Evos are sort of very sharp, good handling, decent power. You know, they are like the kings of this circuit, basically. They really are like almost unmatched in terms of just how good they are around this track. Well, there's something like the Nissan Pulsars and the 323. They're a little bit sort of more understeery. They obviously don't have the power figures that the Imprezas, Evos, even like Lancia Delta, they aren't really near there. And so as a result, they do suffer a little bit more. I would say these, evidently because they're quicker around the track than the several times we've had them, these are quicker than the contemporary Celica of the time, the ST185. But they are blown out the wall by the ST205, so yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I love these cars. I love obscure rally cars. You know, this, the Pulsar, the Suzuki SX4, even today, like the Ford Puma rally car, I'm all for that thing. You know, I do sort of root for M Sport a little bit because it is an exquisite looking thing. But yeah, the rally underdogs, I like the rally underdogs, but yeah, that is remarkable. I set a time that close. I think sort of evidently I could go a little bit quicker in this, But I don't know where the ceiling of this car is, but it is firmly a 29.7 car. No matter how well you drive it, I think it is firmly a 29.7 car. That being said, the splits, no, because it'd still be a point. Well, it'd be slightly above a 0.7, but as I've sort of said before, the splits don't really correspond too well. So yeah, I think that is about what I can get out of this. Yeah, I just find it absolutely remarkable that it's set almost roughly the same time that the standard car did. So yeah, very, very cool. And 29.756 will place this into 118th. As you can see, it is 3,000th of a second quicker than the standard Mazda Familia GTR. That means it's quicker than the TVR Cerberus Speed 6, Audi TT 1.8 Quattro, RX-7 Type RZ, Roof BTR Type 1, Peugeot 206. Slightly slower than the Subaru Impreza WRX Wagon version 2, Nissan Pulsar, Mazda Infiniti Type R, the Viper GTSR, Skyline R32. Slightly down on the Lancia Delta S4 rally car, and compared to stuff like Imprezas and Deltas and stuff, it's not really. It's, you know, a couple points down on those. So yeah, but overall, I think that it's a pleasant driving car. It is a nice driving car. You've just got to understand its limitations, and I think for almost all situations, you will want to go for Imprezas, Evos, Deltas. But if you want to drive something a little bit different, this is definitely here, and it will look very cool doing it. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.